set lines and pages, and set wrap. Alright, so now we're going to talk about using multiple subqueries, using group by clauses in the subquery. So let's say we want to know the minimum salary in our employees table. That's very easy. Select min salary from employees. 800 is the minimum salary. Alright, let's say I want to see the minimum salary per department. That's going to be select department number, comma, min sal from EMP, group by department number. And we already went over group by, why we even have to put department number in the group by. So this also makes sense. We have department number and the minimum salary. So if somebody said, give me the person who makes the least amount of money per department. So this is it. But notice we don't have the person's name. So let's say you want to see the person's name, what department they're in, and the minimum salary. You want to put a name to the minimum salary. So this is where it gets a little tricky. So we're going to use the same syntax, but we're just going to put e-name in the front and then group by e-name as well, right? Well, let's see why that is not the case. Min sal from EMP, group by department number, and we also have to group by anything that does not have a group function. So we have to group by e-name, right? Group by e-name. But look what happens. It gives us all 14 rows of the table. So you can't really group by names because everybody has a different name. All right. So now we are going to use a subquery for that. This is called a multiple row subquery. Here's what it's going to be. What we're going to do is we're going to select, as we said, the e-name, comma, department number, comma, and a sal, because I want to see the name, the department number of this, and the salary of the people who make the least amount of money per department. So select e-name, department number, sal, from EMP, where sal not equal to, because equal to would only give us one value, where sal in, remember in, where sal in what? I'm going to hit enter in these parentheses. So we're going to say where sal in, select min salary from EMP, group by department number. Now let's scroll up a little bit. Earlier we did select min sal from EMP, group by department number. Now down here I don't really need to put the word department number in the syntax. You can group by a column that's not in the actual syntax. The fact that we're using minimum salary, if I hit enter without doing any group by, remember, it's going to give us the 800 we asked for earlier. Select min sal from EMP. But we don't want the minimum salary for the entire table. We want the minimum salary per group by department number. All right, so let's go continue. Select e-name, department, sal from EMP, where salary is in, and we're going to say where salary is in any of these 3 separate values. Select min sal from EMP, group by department number. So let's hit semicolon, enter, and look what we have. In department 10, the minimum salary is Miller. Department 30 is James, Smith, Min. And it makes sense that we'll see Smith for 800 because we already proved that the minimum salary from the entire table is 800. But the minimum salary from department 30 is 950. If we scroll down, we can see 950 was in fact James. So the point of this exercise is to show that when you do select department number and min sal from EMP, group by department number, you'll see the department number and the minimum salary. But if you want to see the name, you cannot just put the e-name in the select clause expecting to see only one name per group. Instead, it's going to give you everything because you can't group by an e-name. In e-name, everybody's name is different. Even if you had 3 people who had the same last name, you can't group by an entire table when everybody's name is different. But department number, there's a whole lot of people who work in the same department. Look how many 20s we see. Look how many 30s we see. Look how many 20s and 30s and 10s we see. So let's analyze this one more time. Let's look at the subquery first. Before we look at the first query, let's look at the subquery. Select minimum salary from EMP group by department number. So the question is, how many results are we going to get with this select statement? The answer is up here because we already did that. Select min sal from EMP group by, we got 3 rows. Ignore department number for a second because technically we don't even need that now. This is about the minimum salary. Because we group by department number, it's only going to give an output for the amount of departments we have. In this case, we only have 3 departments in this table, 10, 20, and 30. So again, focus on the subquery for a second. Select minimum salary from EMP group by department number. There are only 3 departments, so we're going to get the minimum salary from 3 separate departments, meaning this subquery is going to give us 3 rows. It's going to give us 800, 950, and 1300. That's why we said salary where salary in. We want this information. Select ename. I want the name, the department number, and the salary from EMP where salary is in what? In any of these 3 values. And what are these 3 values? They are the minimum salary per department. All right. Now let's switch it up and say we want to see the maximum salary per department. But let's do baby steps. First, let's see the maximum salary in the entire table. Select max sal from EMP. So the maximum salary in the employees table, the maximum salary is 5,000. All right. Now, what if we wanted to see the maximum salary per department? That's very simple. So we're going to do select department number. So I want to see this output, but I also want to see the department number that it's referencing. So select department number, comma, max sal from EMP, but we have to group by department number. Enter. If I didn't do group by department number, I would get an error message because you have a group function on the salary column and we have 14 departments. Remember, the table has 14 rows. So we can see here, we're taking baby steps. First, we wanted to see the maximum salary in the table. Now let's take the next step and see the maximum salary per department. But the question was asked, I want to see everybody's name who makes the maximum salary in their department. So naturally, you want to use this syntax right here and just put ename in the front. So let's make that mistake on purpose again. And let's do this same syntax because we want to put ename in the front right here. So let's do select ename, department number, max sal from EMP, group by, and we're going to group by any column in the select statement that does not have a function, which are these 2. So we'll group by ename, comma, department number. And we want to see only 3 results, but instead we get all the results because none of the names are the same. It can't group something when everybody has a different value in ename. So it's not an error message, but it's a useless table in the sense that it's not what we were looking for. We would like to see this information but the person's name. So let's do the same thing we did earlier, which is the subquery. So what we're going to do is we're going to get select ename, department number, and salary. We want the name, the department number, and the salary of the person or the people who make the most in their department. This is what we're looking for. Their name, department number, and salary. Notice I didn't put max sal here. We're not looking for max sal. We want this person's salary who works in this department number. Now, we know there's 3 departments, but let's say we didn't know. So, all right, ename, department salary from EMP, all right, where salary not equal to, because we have multiple departments, so we can't say equal to. We will say where salary's in, And just to make it easier to read, I'm going to enter where salaries in these parentheses. In select, we're going to do select max sal. We're looking for the maximum salary per department. Max sal from EMP group by department number. Now notice we don't have the word department number here. We don't need it here because we're only looking for max sal. We're not looking for an output of department number. So we're just saying, give me the maximum salary from EMP group by department number. Close parentheses, semicolon, select. I accidentally put a parentheses around the word select. So let's do that again. No problem. Select E-name, department number, sal from EMP, where sal in, enter, parentheses, select max sal, the maximum salary from EMP group by department number. So the reason why we have 4 rows is because 2 people in the same department, 20, both make the maximum amount. But pay attention to the output. We asked for a specific query. We asked for a specific result, and this is the output. We wanted to know the maximum salary in each department. That's the first thing we did. And we found out the maximum salary per department. But we didn't have names associated with it. In order to get names associated with it, we needed a subquery. So we're saying, give me the name, department number, and salary. And that's what we have. Name, department number, and salary. From EMP, where salary is in whatever these parentheses spit out. Whatever comes out of this parentheses. So if you analyze this parentheses, it says select the maximum salary from EMP group by department number. All right. If we did not group anything and we said select max sal from EMP, we're only going to get one result, and that's going to be the maximum salary from EMP. But the fact that we do group by tells me we're grouping it by the amount of departments we have, which are 3. But in this case, we have 4 results because 2 people satisfy this SQL state, this syntax right here. All right? This is subqueries.